Yo, Izzy Johnny back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about what are the best types of lures to use if you're just starting out in the bass fishing community. If you want to like and subscribe, that'll be greatly appreciated. Other than that, let's just get into the video. Alright, so for starters is the crankbait. Alright, so there's a lot of different variations of the crankbait. What I mean by that is this little plastic thing right here. This is called the bill, alright? Some people will call this bill crankbait. I just call it a crankbait myself. So, the longer it is, the deeper it'll get, alright? So, this this goes down to 9 feet deep, alright? But if there's a skinnier one, not a skinnier one, but yeah, I mean a shorter one and square bill crankbait, it'll go, this probably goes around like 3 to 5 feet, most likely 5 feet. So there's different depths according to the different size of the bill. So if it's a deeper type of crankbait, it'll have a longer rounded for the vibration of the water, but most likely it will be deeper. Now, where do I like to fish these? I use these more in like rocky areas, but I mean you can cast these in a murkier waters, because all the vibrations, the bass are gonna be like, oh, what was that, right? They're gonna see the color red. I really like red in the springtime, and it just really attracts those fish. So make sure you look at the different types of like bill, because I like I like to get one longer for like those deeper waters that you have, and then I also like to have my shorter ones for like ponds or something where it's not as deep. Then my next lure is spinner. Alright, you can't beat the spinner. I love the spinner. Caught my PB off this spinner. I think my PB was around like 4 or 5 pounds off the spinner. It was like 10 at night. Alright, I really like spinners at nighttime. Reason for this is of the vibration it gets in the water. And I know it's dark out, but there's lights, so the light can reflect off this as well, and it spins in the water, and the vibration in the water is just so nice. And for spinner baits like this, there is different types of weights. I usually fish a 3/8 ounce. As you can see, this is a 3/8 ounce. I don't know if it'll focus. I don't know if you can see, but there's different heads. Like if it's flatter, easier to skip or something. So you got to keep that in consideration. I just stick with 3/8 ounce. It's your typical average spinner. Yeah, I love these. I fish these by coverage, or you can fish it just cast away and just hope for the fish, because that'll also catch. Spinners are my top 3, and I will say that till the day I die. I love spinner baits. And yeah, these are really good. And if you're new to fishing, definitely this would be the first lure I'd buy, is a spinner bait. Alright, next one is the football jig. So football jig is good for those colder weathers, but don't get me wrong, they can also be really good for warmer weathers like spring and summer as well. So how you fish these, so you want to cast it more towards the bank. Alright, cast along the bank, because in the shallower waters, that's where the bass like to make their beds. And if a bass sees this on their bed, let me tell you, they're gonna chomp on this. And you kind of want to have a trailer on this. I like to put on not this color, but a crawl. Alright, a crawl down like this, something like this. You attach it on, and bass sees this, it'll eat it up right on its bed, because a bass doesn't really like things on their bed when they got all their eggs on it. So I like to fish these in colder weathers. I mean, I'll still fish it in warmer weathers, but definitely not as much. But winter, when the fish are deeper and slower, I really like the football jig. And you should have something for those colder days. So I would put this in the tackle box. All right, next up is this little guy called the Ned rig. All right. So what the Ned rig is, it's a very short, like 2-3 inch worm, which is actually average. But yeah, so it's got your weight right here, right? You get this little weight. You would just put it on the Ned rig. I fish these, like I said, more towards the bank, right? Try to get it on one of them bass beds, and then a bass will just gobble this up. Or I like to fish this near structure, like trees or rocky areas on the bottom. I just like to give my rod like a couple of jerks. So it's like bang, bang, and that tail flicks in the water, so the bass, they just mess with it heavily, and the bass will eat these up. I really like Ned rigs. I kind of got more into them during the colder waters, because I mean, you're supposed to fish them slower, and also bass like are slower in the winter. So I fish these more towards winter time. All right, next up, I mean, you got to just get the good old Senko. Senkos are so great. I mean, they're so reliable. They're so easy to use. All you do is bullet weight, grab these hooks, EKG hooks, and then you attach your Senko. I go Texas rig. Some people go wacky rig, but I fish it Texas rig, bullet weight, EWG hook, and then Senko. And I mean, there's so many different color variations. Honestly, dude, like, get different colors, try them out, because sometimes it's not even the lure, it's the color. Bass are so weird with that stuff. Like, in your pond, they might be familiar with like a darker color, right? You're throwing on a light color, they're not too attracted. They see that darker color, they're bang, right? So get different colored Senkos, because sometimes it's not even your lure, it's just the color. So I would definitely put the Senko in my tackle box. All right, last, certainly, definitely not least, is a topwater frog. All right, you'll probably see this in every man's tackle box. I love seeing topwater. Reason why I love topwater frogs, you do have to fish these a little differently. All right, you got to fish these on lily pads or like duckweed or some high vegetation areas. And all you do, you don't need those big tugs on the rod. All you need light jigs, weight, right, reel in the slack, and jig it twice, right? So what you kind of want to do, you kind of want to cut these end tags off. And what I like to do, little tip, little trick here, I just like to bend these hooks just a little bit, right? And so the bass, once you hook set, they're not going anywhere, all right? And once you see a bass bite off a topwater frog, you're never going to want to change your lure. But I love topwater frogs. Remember to fish these in high vegetation, all right? Look, you're going to get lucky. If you throw it in the middle of the pond, you're going to get lucky, but it's unlikely, to be honest with you. So fish these lily pads, duckweed, something like that. Bass, just see that head. Once you jig it, head go in the water, and then bang, immediately you'll just hook set it. And make sure you bend these hooks. I mean, you do what you want, but I like to cut these off because that's what the fish like to bite. And usually they like get the ends. That's why I cut them. So you're getting it on the hook while they're biting this, and then you hook set. So yeah. So that's, if I would set up a tackle box, right, for a beginner, these are the lures that I would give him, and I would say, have fun, go catch some bass. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just comment. All right, I'd be glad to answer any questions you guys have, and I hope you enjoy your day. Peace.